Good morning everybody and welcome to this Smart Charts European session. Hope you are all well and ready for your Christmas week actually. So the market is actually closed for several days this week and there are actually no high impact news announcements coming out this week either. So it's really a week that if you are trading, then we tend to keep it a little bit more shorter term, just really trading the market flows of any themes developing in the market. Just be mindful for you sort of longer term swing traders that overnight funding charges do tend to increase due to obviously markets being closed and end of year positioning from institutional players. So we tend to keep it a little bit more shorter term, but this is a fantastic time to also reflect on your journey as well and just use that time more wisely to readjust your plans for trading in the new year. So there are a few things that we'll be looking at in the market and today, and we'll get an update on those inside of Smart Charts in a moment. But really, you just want to use this time more wisely and focus on your end of trading review. So in this instance, this is where you want to take your monthly wrap-ups. So on your 3-day trader certification workshop, on your live trading day, we talk about the routines that we use week in, week out, because we just take our trading week by week, because of course it's very difficult to follow a plan forever. It's very difficult to follow rules, forever. So we take our trading week by week because, every single one of you can be focused, can be disciplined, can be aggressive, can be patient. You can be all the things the market needs you to be over 5 days, just Monday to Friday, okay? It's actionable. We take everything we want to do into bite-sized chunks to make it achievable, realistic. So we take our trading week by week, and we know we go through the end of week reviews where we do our back testing to build the belief, the confidence, and actually what we're looking for and what we're doing, so we can turn up next week and continue to do it regardless of the performance the market is actually presenting to you. Okay, so really what you want to do is those weekly reviews that we do, which is also part of your 3-step performance review as well. So if you look at any performance related field that involves winning and losing but still turning up and following a game plan, so sports teams, athletes and so on, they use 3 stages. They focus on planning at the beginning of the week, executing the plan throughout the week, and of course reviewing how well they follow the plan to train themselves to play the game better next week. All right, so we do that week by week as well. So really what you want to do is start looking at your end of week reviews, which you summarize at the end of each month. And at the end of the year, you just really want to take those end of month reviews and just analyze that data. Some of you might be doing quarterly reviews as well. So you take your end of week reviews, then you summarize them at the end of each month to have an end of month review, and then actually you may at the end of 3 months, at the end of each quarter, summarize those end of month reviews. Okay, and now at the end of the year we then summarize the end of quarter reviews. Okay, so do an end of year review. So again, we just always just condensing that information down and making it easier to capitalize on identify and capitalize on our strengths and work on our weaknesses. So really you really want to be analyzing that data now, identifying, okay, which were your best performing months and why? Okay, which were your worst performing months and why? And you want to look into the details so that we go through. So we don't just look at trading setups. Of course you want to look at, okay, what strategies have been working for you, not been working for you. You also want to look at the time frames. You also want to look at the long side to the short side. You want to analyze the different currency pairs you're trading on, different strategies as well. And you also want to be analyzing different things that you're bringing to the table, like your personal life. Okay, what was happening in that month that was really good in your own personal life, but are there any differences in your personal life on your worst performing months? Right, so not just looking at the market specific things, but also your own environment as well. Okay, so a lot of the things that we cover at the end of day 2 in your Learn Forex workshop, trader certification program. And really what you want to do then is identify consistent patterns of strength and weakness in your performance. And you want to be using the Smart Charts AI tools, because of course the AI tools will help you to identify, okay, well, what strategies are performing best for you and not performing best for you. Okay, which currency pairs are you performing well in or not performing well in, which time frames, European session, Asia session, US session is performing performing best for you, which ones are the worst ones, day of the week, so you have all those smart charts AI tools there to help you to really identify your consistent strengths and weaknesses. You want to identify them and basically then rework your trading plans to capitalize on your strengths, because that has been working for you. But then also, how are you going to manage and overcome those weaknesses, right? Because it's not just about eliminating things. If you see consistent patterns in your weakness of trading, you just don't eliminate it straight away. You're going to know how to manage it, and the first part of that is being aware of it, which of course you're going to be aware of if you're doing your end of year trading reviews and summarizing the end of quarter, end of month, end of week reviews, right? So that's really where the time will be spent. But again, we also will be looking at the market, but just keep it a bit more shorter term. Just be mindful of those overnight increase in overnight charges in the currency market due to lower liquidity levels and end of year positioning. So right now, we're just going to be focusing on market flows. How do we do that? Well, let's head into smart charts and have a look. Okay, so if we look at the tools tab here, something we can see, we have a bit of strength there in the US dollar, which we know has been a pretty big theme for us over the past several months, okay? Really for the second half of this year, in fact. And we've had some weakness in those commodity currencies such as New Zealand, Aussie, Canadian, and of course weakness in the Japanese yen as well. So really, from a shorter term perspective, for you guys trading on shorter time frames, lower time frames, faster time frames, you really want to be pairing up the strong and weak currencies. And ideally, if you're a trend trader, you're looking to buy the stronger currencies and sell the weaker currencies, because currencies are paired and they act like a seesaw, okay? So when one is rising, the other one is weakening, and vice versa. So this is where you want to pair those things up. And so that strength in the US dollar will be interesting to see if we sort of get that continuing in the shorter term basis throughout the week. Obviously, there's lack of any high impact news announcements to take into consideration this week, so we have to be mindful of that. But this does fit into things we have been trading already from last week anyway, so just continuing those sort of themes. And if we go to the charts tab here, and if we go to the market breakout strategy, which is one of my favorite strategies, lots of different strategies inside of smart charts, which helps you to identify and trade different types of market conditions that are developing, right? And so with the market breakout strategy, it's quite a versatile one because it helps to identify and trade different types of conditions developing, trending conditions, ranging conditions as well. And that's why I like it. And it utilizes moving averages, the yellow line and the blue line on the chart here, and fractals, which are the little green and red chevrons on the chart, which aim to replicate swing highs and swing lows using a very specific 5-bar pattern. But really what we want to be doing is utilizing what smart charts is finding, okay, out of all the list of different instruments here, and combine it with a human insight pattern recognition. So there's a couple of things going on here that I like. So first of all, where are we? We're in the moving average zone. So I like to be trading in the moving average zone. What is that? It's basically being on the yellow line, on the blue line, anywhere in between that is the moving average zone. Why? Because it just gives me a focus. I can then say, well, look, sellers turn up in this zone before. Well, sellers turn up in this zone before. So if they've turned up here before, then maybe there's a chance they could actually turn up here again today, okay? So again, the past is no guarantee of future performance, okay? But history does tend to repeat itself a lot, and this is what we try to do, stack probabilities in our favor. But then we also like to combine it with some other insight as well. And what we can actually see here is that price is going through a period of consolidation. You can actually see the way the market has come into these the moving average zone has been a quite familiar pattern, hasn't it? Okay, and it's what we call an ABC corrective wave cycle formation. So if you're master traders, then you may well be trading that type of situation. But the market breakout strategy, again, is one reason I like it is because it helps to identify different types of trends, momentum trends, long-term trends, corrective wave cycle trends, and many others. All right. So we have these like repeated patterns of behavior that have been developing in the market. So we're looking to see, okay, can we get a push back lower as we have had before after this similar pattern has developed in the past? What I like here as well, something that else you can see, is that when we came into the moving average zone historically, we tended to top out at a previous high point. We tended to top out at a previous high point. So we're already at this previous high point here. So that would also be quite interesting as well. Okay, we're at that previous high point where sellers turned up before, maybe they could turn up again. So what do you notice? Pattern down here is exactly the same as we've had the past few times that we came into the moving average zone. Okay, so in this instance is what we do, try to stack the probabilities in our favor, and sometimes repeated patterns of behavior, they repeat themselves many times over, sometimes they don't. Of course, trading is going to be about having wins and losses, but the more consistent we are, then the more chance you have of building a statistical probability, a bit of an edge in your favor. Okay, so on top of highlighting the trading opportunities, smart charts will also help the risk management side, which is really the most important. If we click the down icon here, we'll populate an entry price of the blue dot, stop loss of the red dot, target the green dots, which can all be adjusted according to your own user preferences. For me, with lack of really high impact news announcements this week, and of course markets being closed for several days in the week, I'll just be lowering risk as well to protect the profits for the month. Right, it's been a very good month, right? I mean, you know, November, December have been historic months in the financial markets, so we really want to protect that. Okay, so make sure we can end the month, you know, in the positive. And start off the new year with the right kind of, you know, mindset, the belief, the confidence in what you're doing. So I would just tend to reduce the risk on this type of week, and then you know, give it a bit of time to work out over the sort of trading days, so across the European session and the US session. So over the next like 2 4-hourly bars, which will be land us into the US session there, and then simply decline or accept the trade here at the bottom. And smart charts automatically recalculates all your position size when you do adjust the risk. It's just important to keep that risk low, make sure you're able to deal with the random distributions of wins and losses that develop throughout the day, the week, the month, but also navigate the different conditions that you're going to be faced with when trading the financial markets as well. Okay, all right. That's it from me. I'm going to wish you all the best with your trading. We'll be back next week, and when markets are alive and kicking, and enjoy your festive period, enjoy your holidays, and goodbye for now.